There is a machine on Earth that produces more energy than burning coal, oil, or gas, yet releases no smoke, no flame, no explosion. A machine where destruction is deliberately slowed down so that civilization can exist. Inside a nuclear reactor, matter itself is broken apart. And if even one thing goes wrong, history reminds us of the consequences. So how does a nuclear reactor actually work? How do engineers control something that could destroy a city and turn it into electricity for millions of homes? Stay with this story, because once you understand what happens inside a reactor core, you will never look at energy or risk the same way again. The story begins not with power plants, but with curiosity. In 1938, scientists discovered that atoms could be split. Not cracked, not burned. Split. When certain atoms break apart, they release enormous amounts of energy and more particles that can split other atoms. This was not fire. This was something deeper. A chain reaction. Left uncontrolled, it becomes a bomb. Controlled, it becomes one of the most powerful tools humanity has ever built. At the heart of every nuclear reactor is a carefully arranged core. Inside it are fuel rods containing uranium atoms. Uranium is special because some of its atoms are unstable. When struck by a neutron, they split, releasing heat and more neutrons. This is where the danger begins. Because if every released neutron causes another split, the reaction accelerates rapidly. Uncontrolled acceleration equals catastrophe. So the reactor is designed not to stop the reaction, but to tame it. This balance is the entire secret. Neutrons released during fission are too fast. If they remain fast, the reaction becomes unstable. So reactors use a substance called a moderator, often water, to slow the neutrons down. Slower neutrons are more likely to cause controlled fission rather than chaos. This is counterintuitive. In a nuclear reactor, slowing things down is what makes them work. The system is engineered not for speed, but for patience. If moderators slow neutrons, control rods absorb them. These rods are made from materials like boron or cadmium, elements that capture neutrons efficiently. Insert the rods deeper into the core, and the reaction slows. Pull them out slightly, and the reaction intensifies. This is not an on-off switch. It is a precise dial. Operators continuously adjust this balance, ensuring the reaction remains steady, never accelerating, never stopping. A nuclear reactor is not powerful because it is violent. It is powerful because it is restrained. The energy released by fission does not directly power your home. It produces heat. Enormous amounts of it. That heat is used to turn water into steam, which spins turbines, exactly like coal or gas plants. The difference is the source of heat. Instead of burning fuel, a reactor rearranges the nuclei of atoms. The physics is exotic. The engineering is surprisingly familiar. A reactor is always hot, even after it is shut down. This is one of the most misunderstood aspects of nuclear power. Fission products continue to release heat, called decay heat, long after the chain reaction stops. If cooling systems fail, temperatures rise. This is where accidents happen. Not explosions, but melting. The danger is not the reaction restarting. It is the heat becoming trapped. Chernobyl was not caused by nuclear power itself. It was caused by design flaws, human error, and a system that discouraged questioning authority. The reactor became unstable at low power. Control rods were withdrawn too far. Safety systems were disabled. The reaction surged, not because nuclear reactors are uncontrollable, but because this one was deliberately mismanaged. Modern reactors are designed specifically to prevent this scenario. Chernobyl changed nuclear engineering forever. At Fukushima, the reactors shut down correctly after an earthquake. The problem came later. The tsunami flooded backup generators. Cooling failed. The lesson was brutal but clear. Even a perfectly functioning reactor needs electricity to stay safe. Today's designs incorporate passive cooling, systems that work without power, pumps, or human intervention. Gravity, pressure, and physics do the work. No industrial system is monitored as intensely as a nuclear reactor. Temperature, pressure, neutron flux, radiation levels, all measured constantly. Redundancy upon redundancy. Multiple independent safety layers. The philosophy is simple: assume failure will happen, and design for it. A nuclear bomb requires highly enriched fuel and extremely precise geometry. A reactor uses low-enriched fuel arranged to prevent rapid acceleration. The physics are fundamentally different. A reactor cannot explode like a nuclear weapon. Its danger lies elsewhere, in heat, pressure, and containment. Understanding this distinction is crucial. Spent nuclear fuel remains radioactive for thousands of years. This is one of nuclear power's greatest challenges. But the volume of waste is small, far smaller than the waste produced by fossil fuels. The issue is not quantity, it is time. And humanity has never before had to think on such scales. New reactor designs aim to be smaller, passively safe, and resistant to human error. Some cannot melt down by design. Others reuse nuclear waste as fuel. The goal is not more power, it is more control. Nuclear reactors sit at a psychological crossroads. They represent both creation and destruction, hope and fear. They force humanity to confront its own limits and its ability to manage them. A nuclear reactor is not dangerous because it is powerful. It is dangerous because it demands responsibility. Inside a nuclear reactor, the universe's most violent forces are slowed, guided, and disciplined. It is not a triumph of strength. It is a triumph of control. If this story changed how you see nuclear energy, subscribe to 5 Minutes of Culture. Because next time, we explore another invention that reshaped civilization and ask whether humanity was ready for it.